name's Austin Jack with America's Future. Today we have with us Rolando Aguilar, CEO and President of Yard Service on Demand. How you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. Can't complain.
Good.
Another beautiful day.
That's right. It's hot out here in Arizona, but we gotta keep it cool.
Exactly.
And we're in this beautiful brewery. We're here at Phoenix Beer Co. for our sponsor today, so thank you so much to them.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
With that, Rolando, tell us a little bit about yourself. Yard Service on Demand, from what I understand, is a gig economy company.
Yeah.
It's all on your phone, it's an app, and it's on-demand yard services.
Yes, sir.
How'd you come up with that?
You know, to be honest, I'm just an entrepreneur. Just decided one day that I wanted to come up with a type of gig for my hardscape service company. And to be honest with you, it just happened to come about where one day I sent a landscape crew out to a job site that we were doing, and you know, they had a couple hours to burn and they were just sitting there waiting, and I said, you know, why don't you just jump on Craigslist and find a job, you know?
Not a bad idea.
It's not, you know? I was like, why don't you jump on there and see if you can find something in the meantime until your job starts. And fortunately there was nothing for them.
Rolando, tell me a little bit, what are some of the pain points you've seen with your customer base that really helped formulate the idea to put it all on an app? Because I know for some app developers that can take years.
Yeah.
When did you finally decide this needs to go on an app, and how long ago was that?
Well, I'm taking it back to my hardscape business.
Yeah.
Or I've come to find out it was hard to find, you know, a paver guy or a paver company, or the ability to get back to the customer was always difficult. And I built that business on just kind of customer relationship. You know, always being there with a customer, always answering their questions, always answering the phone whenever they needed it. Found out that I couldn't mirror the two companies together, and decided that, you know, some of the flaws that were within, you know, hardscape companies were also within landscape companies. And I started putting the two together and was realizing that, you know what, they battle the same issues as far as, you know, getting back to a customer, reliability. You know, it makes it difficult for a customer to go try to find, or a homeowner to go find, you know, a landscape company. Yeah. You know, I had the same issues myself. You know, I'd always drive around town, you know, drive around the next neighborhood. Who's the landscaper? Yeah, exactly. Who's the next landscaper out there that I can come to my house to, you know, trim my trees, or, you know, trim my bushes.
Or your grass.
Exactly.
And are those the three services you offer on the app as well?
Yes, that is correct. Yeah,
okay.
We do tree trimming, trimming bushes, mowing lawns.
And cleanup?
And cleanup, yeah.
Perfect.
So it's pretty much a variety of things that we can do. And it just, over time, it just started putting two and two together, and was like, okay, I can build this app that's going to make it accessible for a homeowner to find a local landscaper within seconds of their location, and trying to see if I can mirror those two together. The app did take some time, a lot of time.
When did you start it? How long ago?
Yeah, I think it was somewhere right around 2016.
Okay, so quite a 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a thought then. I didn't really put it into play until roughly about maybe 2018, 2019, right in that range.
Okay.
You know, just because cost, I mean, it was up there, and it was something that I was having to, you know, basically,
pay for yourself.
Pay for myself, exactly.
Yeah.
And in doing so, it just took time. And, you know, but I had a great app developer. They helped guide me through it, and with that itself, you know, we took something that was on paper, and I had a vision, and we kind of just slowly but surely started building it. And, you know, all in all, I think it's a phenomenal company that's going to continue to grow and continue to move in different states fast.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so I know you guys are based here in Maricopa County, and you've done your proof of concept here. Obviously, you'll branch out into other states. I know one thing we find from entrepreneurs, and especially a lot of those who come onto the show that are high-level CEOs, they tell us the regulatory barriers they face from state government agencies are pretty aggressive, especially with a gig economy company like yours. I know there's the famous story about Lyft and Uber being suspended from Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport, and then they were brought back. And I anticipate you're having to jump some of those hurdles right now too.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about that and what you're encountering?
Well, great question. Actually, myself and my business partner, we sat down with a group of lawyers. We started looking at a couple of different things in regards to who could actually jump on the app and who can actually use it. Per se, I mean, with Uber and Lyft, they've got their own regulatory issues that they've got to battle. With us, it was a little bit simpler. There were some hoops to jump through, but we created that concept to where this was more of like a handyman service. So meaning that we don't really have to abide by like ROC, because everything under $950 wouldn't be considered a subcontractor. It'd be actually considered more of a handyman type of service.
Okay. And what does ROC stand for?
ROC is basically just a contractor's license.
Okay.
A state regulatory contractor's license that you got to have. That's anything over $1,000 or more.
Okay.
The only thing you really need in our app to actually use it is actually just to have insurance.
And just general liability?
Service. Yeah, okay. General handyman service, general liability. Within the app you can jump on, and actually if you don't have insurance, you can get insurance through the app itself. There's some steps you can go through, get set up with one of our affiliates, and actually get service or get insurance that day.
That's one of the great things about your company is that virtually anybody, I mean, even a 16-year-old trying to make a couple bucks can sign on there and basically have their own company, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it's very true. I mean, I tried to, when I first started off with this company, I tried to bring it back to what it was like back in the days. What it was like to have, say for instance, my kids now. I could say, hey, why don't you go mow Mrs. Smith's lawn down the street?
Make a couple bucks.
Make a couple bucks, right? Why couldn't I bring that to this day and age? It's basically bringing something that's been there for years to fruition. And it just took a little bit of time. I just wanted to make the app easy, number one, for the homeowner, because everything is now accessible. Everybody wants a price now. Everybody needs something now, and ultimately,
immediately.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I wanted to create that within this app.
A convenience.
Exactly.
To tell homeowners that you got a bridal party coming over or kid's birthday.
Or you're going to sell your home soon, right? You're having an open house.
You need it cleaned up.
And you need it cleaned.
You called Yard Service on Demand.
And that's it. And we're there. I think ultimately it's a great concept. We're taking it, all over the U.S.
Okay.
We built a good, strong legal team, my business partner and I, and honestly, we've looked at other opportunities, expanding into other states, and it's something that's coming soon. We just want to make sure that everything goes well over here in Arizona before we start breaking off in other states.
That's awesome to hear, especially a business, starting on a front lawn rather than a living room, right?
Exactly, very true.
No, that's pretty cool.
You go from a vision, and then you put it on paper, and then to an app, and
concept to reality.
Exactly.
You can't beat that.
You cannot. No, it's. I think everybody wants that American dream, and you just keep fighting for it every day, and guess what? You have it. So.
That's right. So, Rolando, obviously a successful entrepreneur. You started with the hardscape company. Now you have this awesome app that's launched here in Arizona. You're going to expand to other states, which congratulations on that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Kind of tell us a little bit about your mindset. You wake up in the morning, do you have a cup of coffee first? You go on a run? Or are you doing mathematics to see how much money you're going to make off this app? Kind of give me a little bit of an idea. What is the day-to-day for Rolando and his company?
Honestly, it's wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, start getting my day going with a warm cup of coffee, and it's always good to think and enjoy that little bit of life that you get, and then that first couple of moments in the morning, drinking that coffee. And sorry, I'm going on a tangent.
No, you're okay. Talk about so you're onto something here.
It's one of those things where you get to reflect on your day. You wake up in the morning, you reflect on yesterday, and how can you make that better today? That's what I go through. How can I make myself better than what I was yesterday. And, I start with that first. Then I look at, my crews and things that I'm going to start with. Of course, I'm running my hardscape business as well. So I get them going, and how am I going to be better for my customers today? What can I do to serve them? And it's just, I think about family. You gotta, you reflect on all the times that you struggle in life, and then you get to a point where you have a little bit of this peace and joy to enjoy what you have. And then you work on yourself. I do all the time. I'm always learning something new every day. And I take that, and it's a good thing for me. Everybody has their own things they do every day, but just taking time to reflect and work on myself is important. Make sure my crews are happy, make sure, again, my customers are happy, and slowly but surely I have a great team that's working on yard service on demand that I'm excited. I'm excited that I have the opportunity to have great people beside me that are going to take this company to the next level. And I think everybody wants to have that one day. Wants to have a good team. And
in that vein, let me ask you, how important is it, the team you have around you? Do you think it's vital to the success of the company?
Oh, yeah.
Because obviously not one person can run what could potentially become an empire.
Correct.
Let's say you're the next Uber or Lyft.
Yeah.
That, from what I'm hearing, that sort of foundation you build at the beginning is vital to the long-term sustainability.
That's true. Yeah, and you have to. I mean, having that strong core from the get-go is so important. Trust is big. Reliability and honesty. And once you have those from a good group or a good core of people that you trust, I mean, there's no telling what you can do, and if you give them that ability to run a company and to take you to the next level, you just stand by them the whole way and, watch it take off,
Oh, yeah.
So, but yeah, it's, I think in anything, you just got to have trust, reliability, and, if you have that with that person, again, sky's the limit. So,
Absolutely.
but yeah.
Rolando, you've mentioned your kids a couple times.
Yeah.
So for business owners, I know sometimes you could be working 16-hour days, sometimes longer.
Yeah.
Are you able to make time for your family every day? Is that an important part of being an entrepreneur, to have a good home to go back to?
Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, honestly, it's, I'm not going to say things were always great. I think as you go through life, you grow. You're always wanting, again, to be better that next day. I think you always want to be the best parent in the world, but in some cases, your job doesn't allow you to do that, But I think with that, over time, there's those opportunities that come about that sometimes you just don't have that great family time. But you make time, you find days, whether it be a weekend, whether it be a certain night, I still have date nights, I take my kids out Thursdays. I have some of my kids, one of my daughter works with me, so I'm always around them, so it's never a dull moment, I will say that, especially teenagers and, young adults.
Yeah.
But
how old are your kids?
I've got a 19-year-old, a 24-year-old, and a 25-year-old. So,
okay.
Yeah. So,
those are fun ages.
They are. They can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can put them to work too, right?
Exactly.
There you go. You got people to mow your lawn.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't have to do it.
They need to do it.
Exactly. No,
That's awesome.
Yeah, they're a great group. I have 3 girls, so to be honest with you, they're great. So, but again, it's just opportunities. You work hard, play hard.
That's right. So Rolando, let me ask you this. You built a great company.
Yeah.
awesome concept. You're growing already.
Yeah.
One thing that I think people need to hear is, obviously this was not a cakewalk. You did not just walk into this app. You said you started in 2016. That was years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
And you just now launched this year. So between that time and now, I mean, what kind of struggles did you face?
Honestly, it was the struggle of, first it was financial, you know, that's always a big thing. I mean, having to fork out a lot of money and then actually having to go through with it. You start off with a little bit and then you're like, oh yeah, this is gonna be easy, you know, perfect. I got a concept in my head. Let me put it to paper. And that goes good. Then you go and you visit an app developer and it's like, whoa, okay, well maybe not. Let me think about this again. You
yeah,
know?
Big price tag.
Exactly,
yeah.
You know. And I think there was a lot of that. You know, I've had a hardscape business and, you know, as you make money there, you take a little bit of money out of it and you invest into this and you invest into yourself, which is another company. And I kept doing that, and I think over time it was difficult. There was a lot of crying. I'm not going to say I'm not that vulnerable, because I am. You know, it was like, is this really going to happen? And you just have to really just dig deep. And I had to dig deep to basically say, you know what, this is something that I want, and I'm going to get it. And it took a lot of, I had a lot of self-doubt.
Yeah.
But one thing I could say in the very end was I knew this was going to take off.
You just believed it inside.
I believed it inside. And at the same time, it was like I believed in myself. You know, I believed on who I was. I believed in the concept. I believed in, all I had to do was find the right team and the right person to believe in the same concept that I had in my head. And once I did that and found that person, it made life a lot easier. You know,
came to fruition.
It did, yeah. And I think, you know, it was there, but I had to have somebody else see it with me.
Yeah.
In order to take it to that next level, things that I was missing, things that I didn't, you know, think about, or consider, you know, because there were some other missing pieces that I didn't have, and I needed someone else to see that, and that's what I think made me realize that, you know, this thing is really now coming to play, and, you know, but I think again, it was just more or less the financial. I think if anything, it was financial. But we overcame that, and we're still moving forward, and things are great.
You mentioned vulnerability.
Yeah.
And that seems to be a strong aspect of your rise to becoming a CEO. Do you think it's important for other entrepreneurs to be vulnerable in these situations and be prepared to lean on others when they're building a company like yours that could potentially be, you know, a nationwide phenomena? Is that something you'd recommend to other entrepreneurs? Because I know oftentimes, and I have to say this, I see a lot of guys that not so much a cockiness, but they think they can do it all.
Yeah.
They're, you know, the jack of all trades, so to say.
Yeah.
But oftentimes, from what you're telling me, I don't think you need to be a jack of all trades.
No, I don't have all the answers. You know.
And you admit that.
Yeah, I definitely will. You know, I'm not perfect. Again, like I've told you, I've always sit in the morning, I reflect on how can I be better today than yesterday. And, you know, one of those things you learn through is, you know, through marriage, being vulnerable, and I don't really want to go there. Kill that one. You know, just in life, you know, being vulnerable and learning how to be vulnerable and putting your guard down and saying, you know what, I can't do it all. And, you know, I think that's something in time people learn, you know, then you don't really have to be that way either. You know, there's some that know it all and that can get the job done, and that's okay too. You know, everybody has to choose which route they want to go. But when you don't know all the answers, the questions that are coming about, you find the right people, you lean on them, and they'll bring you home. And that's what I did.
Rolando, kind of tell me, how important is capitalism in the United States today, in your opinion?
Yard service on demand allows people like myself, entrepreneurs, to be able to have an opportunity to create something for themselves, for their families. Wealth. I mean, I think that's the American dream, you know, creating those things for yourself and your family. You know, you can be 16 on the app to 53, 60, 80, however old you want to be. And just being able just to get on there and create something for yourself. Where can you go in America and have that?
It's invaluable.
It is. I mean, it's great. I mean, being a Hispanic myself, you know, and having the opportunities that I had in my life to be where I'm at now, it's awesome. I mean, I think, you know, I look back and I reflect and I see just my life, how I go from, you know, a struggling family to opportunities and doors being opened, you know, for me. You look at these, you know, rideshare companies now, and those create opportunity, you know, those create the American dream, you know. It's how hard do you want to work to build that wealth for yourself, you know. And I think yard service on demand is the next best thing. And I think if you want to create that financial freedom that we all search for, yard service on demand will get you there.
Phenomenal conversation,
Yeah.
Great story. This app is going to be incredible, I think, in Arizona, and I can't wait to see it launch into other states. One thing I like to ask all of our guests that come on with me is, what does freedom mean to you?
Wow, great question. To be honest with you, I mean, for me, freedom is opportunity. Opportunity that I was allowed to make mistakes along the way and learn from them. And having that freedom to do that, it's priceless. And yeah, it's you can look back all the years that I've gone through life, and it's like, you know, job after job, and you see one opportunity, one door open, another one open, and the freedom to have those jobs, you know, the ability to learn, and then take all those things that you've learned to then create, you know, a hardscape company, to then have the ability to go and then open up yard service on demand. I mean, not a lot of people can say that, you know, they've had those opportunities like I've had, but some have. And I just took that and decided to do something with it. And here we are today.
Well, cheers to that, Rolando.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much for joining
Thank
us.
you.